Good evening and welcome to the Darwin Football Stadium as Men's Premier Division continues from Football Northern Territory. Friday night to get round 10 kicked off, and it's Casuarina up against Darwin Hearts. Teo Pellizzeri is my name. Great to have your company, and a vital game, as they all are at this sort of middle stage of the season heading into this one. Darwin Hearts coming off a midweek game where they lost 2-0 against the Mindle Aces. Casuarina have not played since last weekend. They were held, and I think perhaps that would be the right way to put it, they were held to a 1-1 draw by Uni Atsuri, and it means coming in tonight, Casuarina in third on 14 points, some way behind second-placed Hellenic. They've got a game in hand, Casuarina, which they will play midweek, but they have 14 points to their name, whereas Darwin Hearts are last on the ladder, 7 points, but they have looked more competitive in recent games, whether it's been narrow losses or a couple of draws. They're in the red tonight, and they will be hoping that they can spring a surprise and maybe even grab a win. If they were to win tonight, it would move them above Port Darwin on the ladder. A draw won't be enough due to their goal difference, but as they try to get off the foot of the table, anything's possible. Scott Janes is going to kick us off, the number 17 for Darwin Hearts. Tonight's referee is Albert Kraus. We'll get to the teams in a moment. For those of you not familiar with the sides, Casuarina in the checkers, Darwin Hearts in the red, and they'll be attacking the left of your screen as Friday night action in round 10 of Football Northern Territory gets underway. And straight away, Darwin Hearts trying to own possession and string some passes together. Juma Mweze, the number 11, on the ball. And they're trying to strike early, and Janes is able to win a corner for his team as Yari McRae Van Lingen puts it behind for Casuarina. So the Casuarina team tonight, their goalkeeper is Dylan Newell, number 2 Ryan Newell, 3 Sebastian Smith, 4 Gordon Pereira, 6 Reza Passmore, 7 the league's second highest scorer, Mark Casemiro, 10 Imam Muklas playing as an outfielder tonight, 11 Zelio Casemiro, 12 Curtis Smith, 13 Quinlan Tran, and 14 the man who just gave away this corner, Yari McRae Van Lingen. Here's the corner for Darwin Hearts, trying to strike first, and a solid defensive header away. And Muklas plays the ball into a 50-50. Perhaps sold his teammate into a little bit of trouble there, Gordon Pereira. And so possession now taken by Ganesh Garung of Darwin Hearts. He's not able to keep the ball though. Casuarina take back over. First time we've seen them meaningfully on the ball in just the second minute of the night. Curtis Smith this is, taking on his man out on the wing. Good little burst of pace, and now a corner is answered in kind as it's put behind by Ganesh Garung. And the Darwin Hearts team tonight, their goalkeeper Jordan Stobbart, 2 is Dhruba Kaki, 4 Jayan Mala, 5 Sudip Podel, 6 Ganesh Garung, 8 Mohammed Al-Saleh, 9 is Christian Makuju, 11 is Juma Mweze, 13 Dirpasan Chetri, 17 Scott Janes, and 18 is Santosh Shrestha. Here's the corner then for Casuarina. In swinger at the near post and headed away. And as Mweze brings the ball down, his touch rolls straight back to Quinlan Tran, swung into the box once again. And it's hacked clear, and that gives me the opportunity to welcome to the broadcast tonight Football NTC coach and also representative coach as well. It is Lewis Bunton. Lewis, great to have you on board.
Yeah, good evening. Thanks for having me. Looking forward to a good game here tonight.
As I always love to ask my co-caller, give us the weather and conditions. What sort of a day has it been in Darwin, and what's it like at kickoff tonight?
It's been a beautiful dry season day here, not too humid, and this evening the temperature's really dropped. I'm actually wearing a jumper for the first time in a long time, so it's great conditions for the players, so hopefully they should be lots of running, lots of pressure, and just a real good game of football, so they have no real excuse of being tired.
And as we see a free kick here to Casuarina, what was your feeling about Darwin Hearts coming into this one? They've been more competitive in recent games. They were actually able to hold Mindle to a draw last weekend, even though they were beaten by them 2-0 midweek. They only lost 2-1 to Port Darwin in a competitive game. And prior to that, they were beaten 2-0 by Uni Atsuri. So they've been close. They might be at the foot of the table, but there's certainly no easy beats on their recent results.
Definitely not at all. The way they played, especially that game that you mentioned on Saturday with that draw against Mindle, they would have came away from that thinking they deserved the 3 points, and they did, but unfortunately just didn't take their chances. But like you say, very hard team to beat, and I think they are starting to find their form. They're not out of final contention yet, so they're still there.
Free kick for Casuarina is going to loop off the wall and sit up. Stobbart committed. His defenders got back on the goal line. Goalkeeper recovers. The shot comes in, and he's done well to get back on his line and somehow keep the ball out of the back of the net. Darwin Hart's living dangerously, and their goalkeeper Stobbart able to recover. Had covering defenders back there in the chaos, but perhaps Casuarina there, Lewis, should have opened the scoring.
Yeah, great save by Jordan Stobbart there. He's an absolute fantastic goalkeeper, Darwin Hart. He's been their #1 goalkeeper for some time, and yeah, from a Cavs point of view, maybe he should have got that goal.
As an in-swinging corner is met by a whistle. We've got Ryan Newell here for Casuarina. Seems to have caught the referee's attention, tending to himself. Is the trainer going to be called, or have we got a blood rule? What's the outcome here? Is the referee Albert Krause is directing traffic. Tonight's assistants are Ben Kivett on the near side and Tim Lay over on the outer side. And now there's going to be a discussion between referee and trainer. It appears as though that is maybe a pothole which is being repaired. Now, actually, I was going to ask you about the pitch, Lewis, because it has held up very well, but obviously gets a lot of traffic, this ground. What sort of state is it in tonight?
It's in a good state, for like you say, there is a lot of football that is played on this pitch, but the groundsmen here do a fantastic job. It is a little bit softer, like you say, with all the games being played on it, but it's still a great pitch. It's one of the best pitches we have in Darwin, and we're very lucky to have it and the people working on it.
And as you can see, the ball is still being knocked around very comfortably and capably by Darwin Harts, and they've built into their attacking half smoothly here. And now Mweze tried to slide a through pass. It was blocked immediately. Goes again, well, almost successfully this time. Santos Shrestha was trying to run onto it, couldn't do so. Now Casuarina will repel. Coming back in the other direction, Seb Smith. And at the feet of Pereira. Now in the middle, dinked over through the left side of the box. Casemiro, the last man Hearts want to see on the ball. He got free for a shot, but he had so many defenders between he and the target that they blocked it away. Expect him to be defended attentively tonight, but he's back in the action straight away. And now Mweze, who's brought his own ball to this game. He's had the most touches out of anyone in the first 6.5 minutes, and he's full of energy again here as he squares it over to Scott Janes, and now they concede a little bit of territory back to Sudip Podell, and then a long clearance for Hearts. Ball bounces and spins into the path of central defence, and then Darwin Hearts, they're not afraid of the long ball in these early exchanges. Right down to the left corner, and now trying to wheel back around. Instead, it just turns into a giveaway. Curtis Smith. And another rather gentle yielding of possession. These two teams feeling each other out. Hearts at the feet of Santosh Shrestha. One of a number of Shreshthas in the squad tonight, but the only ones starting. Shrawan and Sarjal are also on the bench. Aerial contest here. The initial header was followed then by a rather timid effort to go for the ball from all teams, and Casuarina will be happy to go backwards. And it right back. Seb Smith. Down the line, Casemiro, clever, but a big wide turning circle. Invited his defender on, Karaki. Couldn't take the ball with him though. Now they keep it moving. Zelio Casemiro. Back to Mark. Able to ride the challenge coming in from Mohamed Al Saleh. The referee gives advantage as the ball is out on the left. Cross swung to the penalty spot, totally unmarked, but the flag was up. It would have been offside and would not have counted for Curtis Smith. Now, Lewis, I wanted to ask you about Darwin Hearts and how they can score goals, because this season they are by far the lowest scorers. They've only got 7, and it does mean that if they concede first, it is that much more of an uphill battle for them.
Yeah, I do agree with that. But from watching them previously, they create many chances. They just haven't had that magic touch just to put the ball in the back of the net. But they are dangerous going forward. As we've seen already, they're very quick in them front 3 players they have. And they got the guys on the bench as well who are equally quick. But like I said, they missed that magic in front of goals, and they just haven't been able to find the back of the net, unfortunately for them. But hopefully, this latter part of the season, they might just start finding it now. They are starting to get into a groove.
So it wasn't offside. It was brought back for a free kick in the build-up. 4 in the wall from way downtown, and that is nowhere near the target. A height of ambition there from Imam Mukhlis as he loaded up to take a shot at goal. Now, we've talked about Darwin Hearts a fair bit, Lewis, but Casuarina, their recent results, they've got a midweek coming up this week. They drew 1-1 with Uni at Surrey at the weekend. They drew 1-1 with Hellenic the weekend before, which was a great point for them, no less than they deserved. And then the week before, they put in an absolute stinker. They got rolled 4-2 by Port Darwin, the much improved Port Darwin. So they haven't had a win in quite a while, and I think that really heaps the pressure onto them coming into a game like tonight.
It definitely does, especially the way the table's looking. They are sitting in 3rd at the moment, but it's not that far from 4th and 5th and even 6th position. So they really need to start getting these wins, getting these points back on the board, just to really cement their spot, in that finals contention. Because like at the moment, it's any team can make them final 4. I think the first 2 are sealed, but definitely the final 3rd and 4th spot isn't quite there yet. So if they can find their form again, start winning games, then they'll definitely be there.
They haven't won a game since round 6, back when they beat this very team, Darwin Hearts, 2-0. Since then, well, I think the draw against Hellenic was an excellent performance. They just didn't win the game. They had to rely on a last-minute equaliser even to come away with a share of the points, even though probably make the case that they were the better side. Anyway, that was then. This is now. Curtis Smith on the ball here, and he plays it behind Zelio Casemiro on this occasion. Booted away by Stobbart. Hearts through Santosh Treshler. And then that is blocked out for a throw into Sandeep Podell. Referee saying it's going Casuarina's way. Thinking about taking it quickly. But it slows down at the feet of Gordon Pereira. Steers it sideways. Now back to his keeper. Dylan Newell sends it out to left back. And attention from Darwin Hearts, pressing up, winning the ball back. And then they can't capitalise. It's stop it straight back to Reza Passmore of Casuarina. Pereira, too clever by half. Coughs the ball up, goes back and makes a nuisance of himself, but Santosh was very good, and now that's an excellent pass outside of the foot. Here's the speed in the front third, but unable to break and bear down on goal. That is an indicator of what Darwin Hearts are capable of, even though on that occasion it was offside, Lewis.
Yeah, like I said, they're very quick in them front 3, but they're a little bit lacking in that midfield. I mentioned earlier they did have a tough game last Saturday against Mindle, and they played them again on Tuesday. So I think there's a little bit tired legs out there for Darwin Hearts, but they definitely do have that capability in the front 3 to really beat defenders with their speed alone. So hopefully they got the manpower on the bench when they do come on, they make a difference. Because at the moment they're looking a little bit slow in the midfield there for Darwin Hearts, and they when they get in that ball, they can release them front 3.
Now, back pass isn't going to prove too dangerous. Rolled out to Karaki. Casemiro, shoulder to shoulder, and the appeals there from Zelio Casemiro right on the scene saying, pay the foul, ref, and the referee does indeed oblige. So they've had Lewis, this is the third free kick they've had at this sort of range. Maybe just a little bit too far out for a great shot. It's a low percentage chance here. Do they go direct again, or do they try to tee something up?
With the players standing on the ball, I know their abilities. They definitely would be looking at the net and going for goal. I've seen him score these before. Iman there, the number 10 for Casuarina. But you don't know, like you said, is that odd position where do you go for that goal or you just tee it up at the back post? But we'll soon find out. But Iman's definitely got that ability to put it in the back of the net from this range.
Two fairly harmless free kicks from distance already. This one, they're going to try and put it on a teammate's boots. And it nearly worked out for Gordon Pereira. He's appealing for a corner kick, but he got the last touch. And Lewis, that did look a lot more dangerous, and perhaps Jordan Stobbart is right to be asking his defence, how was the attacker allowed to meet the ball first there?
Oh, definitely. Like I said, a little bit slow today, Darwin Hearts. And again, the keeper, Jordan Stobbart, be looking at them saying, come on, lads, let's wake up. We've got to do your man marking here. Because, yeah, that was a lucky escape again from Darwin Hearts.
Play restarts down in the left back corner for Hearts. Scoreless after a lively first 15. It's flown by, really. Game is now starting to feel like it's settled into a good rhythm. We've had a couple of great Friday nights the last 2 weeks. Late drama in both. Last week it was the penalty save from Port Darwin as they drew 1-1 with Hellenic, and the week before it was Uniatsuri just absolutely laying siege to Mindle's goal, who clung on for a 1-0 win. So they haven't been the traditional high-scoring contests that we've come to know and love in the Football NT Premier Division, but it's given us two of the more entertaining games of the season. They can't all be 4-3, I guess. We'll have to wait and see what happens from here. Trying to flick it over his own shoulder there down the line, but not successful. That was Makuju. Long diagonal ball being distributed. And it hit Seb Smith. He wasn't able to control it, but that's a bad giveaway from Mueze. And luckily for him, Pereira couldn't exploit it. He gets a second chance. Awkward touch. He had to go and chase his own possession. And you see Casuarina, their turn now, really to press up and Ganesh Gurung, very clever to get out of trouble. Spinning on the ball and turning is Mohamed Al Saleh, and he sets the runners free. Goalkeeper comes out. Dylan Newell had to be good there, Lewis. He had to judge when to come off his line because the Darwin Hearts players were off to the races.
Oh, yeah, and Dion Newell is fantastic for that. I've seen him many years and played against him many times, and any through balls you put through, he'll definitely be up. He's very brave like that, and he's very good with his feet, and he'll just clean up like that for his defence all night long. So Darwin Hearts really got to be careful of them through balls, that they don't just put that too much on it, because Dion will be there to stop it, just like he did.
Now Casuarina on the attack. Ryan Newell. And then the shot over the bar. So they're yet to really test the goalkeeper, Jordan Stobbart. They've had some sighters, Casuarina, but they haven't really done anything threatening with them. Central referee calling for another ball as Ryan Newell walks away and thinks about the long shot he just popped off. Other games coming up this weekend. The Saturday afternoon kickoff is Mindle versus Port, and then the Saturday night game, maybe a little unlucky to miss out for game of the weekend, Uniatsuri versus Hellenic. Got a third week in a row where it's been a coin flip decision as to what the best game of the weekend is, and I think that reflects well on the competition. Hearts trying to build. Clever from Makuju initially, appeals for handball, referee doesn't bail out his pass that turned the ball over. Ryan Newell. Casemiro. Slipped over and recovered very nicely. And now from the edge of the box, Curtis Smith. Would I be safe in assuming that his left peg is not his preferred side there with that shot?
Doesn't seem it, does it, from that shot, but it looked like he rushed it there. A little bit off balance, and I think the coach will definitely be saying to him at halftime, just take your time, you're in front of goal, no pressure, set yourself, because he can score them as long as he sets himself up right. But yeah, it's not doing him any favours there with that shot.
By my count, that is now 5 long shots in the first 18 minutes that have been sent either high and wide or just high. They're backing themselves from distance without any real success at the moment, Casuarina. Smith. Shallow pass. Fielded quickly on the sidelines and returned to Seb Smith. And now down in the corner, Paddock, have to be careful. They have given the ball away. Casuarina not able to act quickly. They're going to have to be a bit more patient here. Throw in and held up by Zelio Casemiro. Now Gordon Pereira. Casemiro flicking into the box and stooping down to the ball. Darwin Hartz did well to usher it behind for a corner kick. But rather than fire the long shot hurriedly, that was a far more patient build-up from Casuarina, and a corner kick is their reward. Can they break the deadlock on 20 minutes? Right into the pack of players. It's allowed to bounce, beat them all in the end. And out the other end of the penalty area, Makuju wins the throw for Hearts. That may get them out of trouble. Santosh. Ran out of real estate against the touchline. Pereira. Curtis Smith. Back to Gordon Pereira. From distance. He is dangerous from this sort of range, Pereira. And that one went over. They've definitely shown their hand here, Casuarina, Lewis. How long until they mix it up and try to get behind the defence and play it in from the flanks? Because right now they're very happy as soon as they face to fire from distance.
It's a bit hard to tell. I think the reason why they're probably firing a bit more from distance is Darwin Hart to just sitting back a little deeper than what they usually would from what I've seen from them, especially in that midfield. You know, Casuarina seemed to have all the ball in the midfield, and then Darwin Hart are quite content to let them shoot from 30 yards outside that box, not really putting on real pressure for them. So it is kind of hard to tell. There was better build-up play early from Casuarina. And you might just see it mixed up, but when you're in midfield, you look up and no one's pressing you outside the box. You look up and you see the goal and you want to have a chance. So you can't really fault them either, but they just need to start getting them on target if they do that.
Based on the last 10 minutes, it's a rare foray forward for Hearts, and that is great play by Mweze to win the ball. Little back heel was clever. James, and corner kick. And this is so important when you have limited chances to go forward, to make the most of them. Second corner of the night coming up for Darwin Hearts. Mweze has been very busy, and James there was good to get over and lend some support. Corner kick is going to be taken by Mohamed Al Saleh. They have just 3 goal scorers this season, Darwin Hearts, and 2 of them, Biomi Ane and Mbukana Nalua, aren't even in the matchday squad tonight. Corner in to the near post. Second time ball incoming. Or is it? That's a poor touch and a letdown there from Mohamed Al Saleh, and he kicks the ball away in frustration. Yes, the only player to score a goal in the matchday squad for Darwin Hearts tonight is Sajal Shrestha, and he's only scored the 1, and he's sitting on the bench. So the 11 players on the field tonight, not one of them has found the back of the net this season. What they would give for someone to open their account in this first half tonight. Right now, Hart's going backwards instead of forwards. Back to the keeper to steady up. The question is, will Casuarina press and try to cram them in? Long ball. Just gives the ball back at the right of defence, the feet of Reza Passmore. Task set here. Podell leads his man to the ball and taking no risks, putting it out for a throw. Curtis Smith was always a step behind him there, but the defender not taking any chances. And now at the byline, Hearts. First to the ball and putting it behind for a corner kick. Zelio Casemiro was responsible for his team there, winning this set piece. Darwin Hearts trying to organise. Imam Muklas is going to stand over the corner. They've had a few. Most of them have honed right in on that 6-yard box, near post or the middle of the goal. Do we get something similar here? Pack of players charges towards the 6-yard box. They attack the near post and, well, tried for the element of surprise, and Stobbart wasn't falling for it. And now the counter-attack is on. That is great from Makuju. Played it to his own advantage and then burst away. James keeping control under duress. Was he pushed? He was. Free kick. Casuarina protest their innocence. You got to say that was a 2-on-1, if not a 3-on-1 there for the defence. Did they really need to concede a foul there, Lewis?
Oh, no, not at all. Probably from the ref's point of view, probably coming in from behind, like you said. But they just need to hold him up, set him up. But that was much better play from Darwin Hart. That's what they're more capable of, that quick counter-attack. But great work from Darwin Hart there, much better from them. But yeah, like you said, Casuarina is in the back there. Did they need to do that? No, not at all. Just hold him up. I think the coach will definitely be having a word with them in that final third. Just slow him down, especially when you've got 2 or 3 guys on him. Just slow the ball down, let him make a mistake, and we'll win the ball there. But instead, they've given away a free kick.
They've got to test the keeper here. Scott James. Big moment for Darwin Hearts. The wall is set. Only one man, James, the number 17, stands over this dead ball. Good shooting range. He's lining up to take it left-footed. Hearts have scored just 7 goals in 10 games this year. Will this be number 8? Oh, it's driven into the wall, did its job. The follow-up is without enough power to really trouble the goalkeeper. And Diane Newell falls on the ball and is able to hold on to it. So the wall did its job. Good defending. Can Hearts parlay this into more attacking chances? They can't just let Casuarina resume normal attacking service. Casemiro wants exactly that. Uses the support of Zelio Casemiro. In swinging cross, not cleared decisively. And the shot is knocked clear inside the penalty area. Never made it to the keeper. Off the boot of Curtis Smith. Now Gordon Pereira follows up. Didn't want to send it out to the left. Turns and looks for Mark Casemiro instead. And his normally reliable first touch abandoned him there. But it's been coughed up at the edge of the box. Darwin Hearts, they've got to clear their lines. Just get it out of trouble. And they can't. It's blocked back into the danger once again. Garung. He goes through the legs of his opponent, but then it's fielded by Seb Smith. And his misdirected pass goes out. So a scrappy passage of play ends with Darwin Hearts down at right back in possession. And they've done the smart thing here. Just take their time over the throw, calm everything down. Neither team could really connect a pass in that last phase. Referee's going to bring it back. Free kick Hearts for late contact. And again, they just take the sting out of things. Free kick to resume play after everyone caught a breather. This is Quinlan Tran playing a 1-2 down the left. Now to Pereira. Oh, he wasn't on the same wavelength as one teammate, but he's helped out by Ryan Newell backtracking to make that pass a good one. Hearts standing off Tran, allowing him into the attacking half, but his pass is straight back to Hearts. Can they slingshot down the other end? Good slide tackle came in, and that was Pereira. Gets the credit on that occasion for short fusing the counter-attack. Now it's Casuarina's turn to throw it in. High bending ball. There to be one in the air. Sliced over to Al Saleh, long ball. And the Casuarina defence composed on this occasion. Tran will be hoping for a better pass than his last effort. He finds a teammate this time. Pereira. The run is being made here by Seb Smith. He's able to bring the ball under his control eventually. Into the box they go. Curtis Smith cutting across, lost his feet at the crucial moment. Trying again, Casuarina. It's good close control there from Ryan Newell, and the shot comes in and held onto by Stobbart. Muklas shooting on sight, trying to bend it into the path of, well, the bottom left corner, but the goalkeeper was well positioned and able to hold that on the half volley. Half an hour gone, still scoreless. Game feels like it's got goals in it. Pereira, he's running the game at the moment. Here he is again. Back to Imam Muklas. Newell. It's a clever pass. Celio Casemiro was nearly in. Linking up nicely there. Casuarina. Casemiro. Sold his teammate into a little bit of trouble there, and Moise made the ball his own. Good tackle. But he hasn't got much to go to in terms of teammates in support. He just puts the head down and tries to barge forward. Can't find a way. He'll deflect back here, and now the onus is on Hearts to try and keep possession under pressure. Referee watches on, no foul. Play continues, but it's given away. And that's brought down well by Mark Casemiro, ghosting in from the right side. And a good one-on-one save by Stobbart to deny him. And Lewis Casemiro was just so intent, honing in on goal there on the diagonal, and he nearly got the opener.
He nearly did. That was a much better play from Casuarina the past 5 minutes or so. They're finally starting to string some passes together, which is brilliant to see. The right and left back in Smith and Tran slowly creep each other right side, and Darwin and Hart just can't deal with it. But
the result is a corner kick. They've got Stobbart to thank here, Darwin Hearts, for keeping this game 0-0. Corner is right into the mixer, and well held, strong overhead from Stobbart. But there's going to be no quick getaway here to launch a counter-attack. Forced to hold the ball up and assess the options. Now boots it long. Protecting the ball initially was Seb Smith. And you heard the laces into the ball as he played it up to Zelio Casemiro. Zelio again in possession. Through the right he goes. Curtis Smith. Knocked away from him, out for a throw. Throw in then. Casuarina give the ball up straight away, but all the pressure's on Moise to do something with Pethis. Back to goal, a long way from home. Hacked. Ryan Newell. Moise. Tried to cut in, but he couldn't out-touch his marker there in Pereira. Casuarina's terms at the moment. Cross comes from deep on the left, and it's a running header and an even to save. Elio Casemiro would have been given something he had scored, but Jordan Stobbart parried it over. Corner kick, and Lewis, the saves just get better and better from Stobbart as the game goes on.
Yeah, he's starting to find himself in that goal there. He's always been a brilliant keeper, but he's putting some brilliant saves at the moment. Casuarina really going for it now.
In comes the corner, and off heads this time with less threat to the target. Out it goes over. That was a different sort of attack from Casuarina. That was the cross to the central striker rather than the shot from distance, and it very nearly broke the deadlock. Casuarina coming in tonight, 14 points, plus 3 goal difference. Mark Casemiro, their top scorer, has 9 this season. Their next highest scorers, Kilmartin with 3. He's not in the squad tonight. Neither is Marimba. He has 2. Bookless has 2, and then it's all singles beyond that. Stobbart, you can see the confidence in the keeper. We're in the last 10 minutes before half-time, and he is the reason that we don't have a goal in this game at the moment. Outside of the foot pass, breaking into the path of Seb Smith. And he's unable to find a way past Moise. Curtis Smith. And that is a directionless pass in the end to no one in particular. Out for a goal kick. Darwin Hearts taking their time over every dead ball at the moment. I think they can sense that they need to keep this 0-0 scoreline to half-time. And maybe as the night wears on, their counter-attacking style will become even more dangerous, catching out Casuarina on the break. Right now, Casuarina defence is really only watching on how proceedings have gone in the last 15 minutes or so. Tran. Curtis Smith. Oh, he's able to very cleverly lose the midfield there, spinning out of a 1-on-2. And breaking through the left, Muklas. Hearts appealing that it's their throw. And the referee obliges. Here's the throw in from right back, given away cheaply. Pereira. Muklas. First touch, took his marker out of the equation. Back to Pereira. Referee has to take evasive action. And then that pass is shallow. Out it goes for another throw. You're the coach of Casuarina. Obviously, Zelio Casemiro is out there on the pitch at the moment, Lewis. What are you doing to try and break this deadlock before halftime? Because it might be a real mental and moral victory for Darwin Hearts if they can get to the break with their clean sheet intact.
Definitely from Darwin Hart's point of view, they'd be happy to go in at 0-0. But I think, like you say, at the moment, the Casuarina coach would be pretty happy. Like you said, he is on the pitch, but especially that past 10, 15 minutes of play from Casuarina to be much better. They just might have to be a little bit more patient with them, but they definitely got the legs on them today, and they're starting to explore them options, especially from right and left back, like I mentioned before, from Smith and Tran. There's definitely being brave and going forwards, and they're causing problems. And I think if they just keep playing the ball on the ground like they have been last 10 minutes or so, the goal will come. If not in the first half, definitely in the second half, because they are playing much better football than Darwin Hearts.
Well, they've come unstuck here, hugging the touchline a bit too closely. So that will be Darwin Hearts' ball in the attacking half. Can they make the most of a trip up the pitch? Out of a tangle of legs. Step overs and cleverness from Al Saleh. Tried to thread through James in a very tight window. Almost pulled it off. And now push in the back here. And that is going to bring a yellow card out of the pocket for the first time tonight. This is Chetri, who is going to get himself in trouble here for fouling Casemiro. And the referee makes a point of saying it is for persistent fouling. The yellow card for Dirpasan Chetri. And Mark Casemiro tending to his left boot at the moment. So he needs his teammate to help him tie his laces. Might be quite sore. I'm not sure what the investigation is here. Looks like they're tying his laces as opposed to untying them at least. Running repairs are done. From what I can see, Lewis, has he got a strap tied around the outside of his boots to hold them in some way? Is that the issue they've got here?
I'm not too sure. I think he might have snapped the lace maybe a little bit lower, and that's what he's trying to tie that bottom half of his boot there. But it seems to be all fixed now. He's up and he's moving. He's definitely gone concerned about them laces. I think he might have been caught on the boot on that tackle there. He might have ripped his lace.
Well, he's got unmissable fluoro pink boots. It'll be interesting to see if he emerges in the same pair in the second half, or if he's managed to make sufficient running repairs to continue unfussed. We'll wait and see what happens in the second half. In the meantime, Pereira distributing wide to the right. Cross comes in low from Seb Smith. He'll get a second chance here. What's he like on his left side? He lifts it over the bar. Had a speculative attempt. Not the worst idea, but it's out for yet another goal kick. Stobbart, very interesting body position there. He was almost facing towards his own corner flag there as he loaded up that kick out. Got it down the line. Here's his opposite number, Dion Newell. And lots of distance on that kick right there. Almost trying to play a through ball from inside his own penalty area. Brian Newell twists it back to Pereira. Hart's challenging. Man has hurt himself going in for the tackle there. Bouncing back up is Makuju. Casuarina right through the middle. Flag is up, offside, and a stinging, fizzing shot. Always rising from Seb Smith. But it wouldn't have counted because he was coming back from an offside position. That takes us down to 2 minutes until halftime. It's flown by this first half. Lewis, what would your team talk be if you were the coach of Darwin Hearts?
For me, I'd definitely be addressing the midfield there. They haven't seemed to get on the ball whatsoever tonight. Credit to Casuarina, of course, for doing that. But they just seem a little bit lackluster. So I think his main focus might just be that midfield, getting a little bit of fight, a little bit of spirit into that midfield again, because that is the engine room for Darwin Hart. And look, the midfielder there winning the ball back, which is brilliant. You know, put a bit of pressure on them. They're capable of it. So I think at halftime, he'll be happy with his defence. They are holding strong. Happy with his front three, but definitely addressing that midfield. They got to work a little bit better, a little bit harder defensively, and when they are on the ball.
Casemiro for the sting in the tail at the end of the first half. I don't believe it. How on earth has Imam Muklas missed that open net? Casemiro with a rolled gold silver spoon assist. And Imam Muklas, falling off balance, conspired to miss the target. That is incredible, Lewis. Casuarina, they will be stewing over that in the rooms during the break.
Yeah, I've got no words for that. That should have been more. He'll be devastated with himself. He's hanging his head in shame. He knows he should have scored that, and that would have been a great goal and great work. But yeah, his head's down. He's definitely disappointed. That should have been 1-0 to Casuarina.
And Mark Casemiro, he has remained at top speed all throughout this half, and his evasiveness is proving an increasing problem for Darwin Hearts. They started the game sometimes 3-on-1. Now he's getting into space a lot more. They need to stick to their task at the end of the first half. 50-50 in the middle. Al Saleh prevails. James trying to score against the run. Lost his marker, who bounces back to his feet. Now Moise. And the slide challenge comes in. Goal kick as well. Textbook stuff. And that should just about take us to half-time. Late corner would have been interesting, but not to be for Darwin Hearts. It's lifted out to the right by Newell. Referee's going to allow stoppage to keep ticking. Down the line we go. Moise, Jane, Pereira. Back pass all the way to his keeper. He's got real leg on him to be able to send that ball up into the attacking half. Now Newell. We have more defending to do before we're done in the first half, though. Al Saleh breaks left. It's all about the delivery from here, though. Step over is clever. Got to find a teammate with the pass, and does. Well, they have numbers over on the right. Can they get it there? Darwin Hart. Here's the shot from distance, and it's slewing wide. And the referee says that will be that for the first half. No goals, but very entertaining. Jordan Stobart made some fantastic saves, and then an inexplicable miss from Imam Muklas means that at halftime in this opening game of round 10, the Football Northern Territory Men's Premier Division, it is Casuarina 0, Darwin Hearts 0. Stick around. We'll have the second half for you live here on the Football Northern Territory social media pages. Stay with us. We'll be back soon. Welcome back to live pictures from Darwin Football Stadium. Half-time of the Football Northern Territory Men's Premier Division match.
Don't let the scoreline deceive you. It has been an action-packed but scoreless game so far between Casuarina and Darwin Hearts. It does feel like goals are on the way. Really a question of who breaks the deadlock, though. Casuarina took over as the game went on, created chances, forced saves, missed sitters, and yet Darwin Hearts have a style of play that could suit this game down to a T if it stays scoreless late into the night. It's going to be Casuarina to kick us off here at the start of the second half, attacking the right of your screens. And, of course, a vital game for Casuarina tonight. They're on 14 points. They're 7 behind second place. They are 4 above Uniatsuri in fourth. They can really elevate themselves above the scrap for finals by winning tonight. But if they draw or lose, they may very well find themselves dragged back into the conversation to even miss, potentially, the finals. Given the much improved nature of Port Darwin, and also on tonight's showing, Darwin Hearts. Trying to break the deadlock straight away, and Stobbart makes another fantastic save. And as I welcome Lewis Bunton back to the broadcast, Lewis, it looks like the second half is resuming right where the first half finished. We haven't got him just yet, but that was a marvellous save coming in there from Jordan Stobbart. Casuarina would have been forgiven for thinking that that was enough to break the deadlock, but not to be. Corner kick. Falls just inside the penalty spot. Tran can't advance it any further. Counter-attack time, perhaps. Long sweeping ball. Moese, can he control it? Oh, his second touch there. He had to go in and impose himself on the situation. He couldn't do so. Pereira. Now Ryan Newell. Pereira shuffles it into the path of Curtis Smith, but he can't keep possession. Now Hearts. Makuju to Al Saleh. He always looks to play the aggressive pass, Mohamed Al Saleh. He's a very forward-thinking player, always attempting to slide a through ball. This is Chetri, the only player on the pitch with a yellow card to his name after the first half. Advantage here. James setting it out in front of Moese. Can he free his feet for a shot? He wanted to square it across to Makuju instead. Not to be. Maybe in that situation you have to be a little bit selfish and just try to get a shot away. And a little push in the back there on Curtis Smith. Oh, the referee says no foul, and Curtis Smith, almost like a wrestler, he goes and just falls back to the ground. He tried to sell the contact for all it was worth, and the referee wasn't buying. Still on his haunches. Extraordinary. And now Casuarina attack in the meantime. They may not have got the foul, but can they get a goal? Cross from deep. And Hearts have got numbers in the penalty box. Makuju. He's able to break away from his marker there. Leaves Curtis Smith behind. Clever step overs, but he can't outfox the entire Casuarina defence. Pereira keeping the ball at his feet. Now Muklas. Has he put the miss in the first half out of his mind? The 1-2 here. It's a 1-2, 1-2-3. Zelio Casemiro put his head in. Could have been a high boot potentially. Cleared. Shallow back pass. A cause for James to go and chase. But Dion Newell is very good at coming off his line. And it is blazed and cleared away. Only 4 minutes into this second half, and already Darwin Hearts have shown a bit of attacking prowess and giving as good as they get. It's a more balanced game in this second half than it was by the time we got to the end of the first. Tran. Bookless. And now an aggressive run here from Ryan Newell. Can he cap it off with the shot? Oh, it's parried and held onto by Stobbart. And for a moment, I thought the shot straight at him might have proven his undoing, but he was able to grab it off one bounce. It was great aggressive attacking play from Ryan Newell. I think everyone knew a shot was coming, but he ended up putting it straight at the goalkeeper. High ball into the area from Al Saleh, and that one is too close to the keeper. We'll check in with our man at the ground, Lewis Bunton, at the next break in play. Right now, though, it is an end-to-end contest, providing us plenty of entertainment in the first 5 minutes of the second half. But that pass is not on the money. And Lewis, as I welcome you back, action-packed first 5 minutes. And unlike the first half, it's end-to-end. We're getting a really good exchange of chances for both teams. Well, we don't quite have him. I thought we might have. We'll stay with what has been a compelling game throughout the course of the night. It really needs a goal to send it in a different direction. And Casemiro has to be the man to break the deadlock, but not for the first time in this game. That one goes over the bar as well. He's been at his deadliest, Casemiro, when he comes in on the angle from wide on the flank. And then he just veers in on a sharp diagonal. That's when he really creates panic in the Darwin Hearts defence. See if he can get into more dangerous positions as this half wears on. Ryan Newell, just a left-footed drifter, had to be judged in the area. There were players lurking out the back. Pereira, he's done it all tonight, trying to turn provider with an assist now, but Casemiro being warned closely. Now block tackle. Contest for the ball. And forward it goes. Up the middle though. No real direction on it. Janes, he's sprinting it out here. Trying to hurry the keeper, but cool as you like from Dejan Newell. Able to get it out to left back. So we rate to restart. Tran. He's been a lot more involved in an attacking sense in this half. Quinlan Tran. And that is a no-nonsense clearance, just punting it away. Centre of midfield, Pereira. And now it's brought down, but a loose touch. Stobbart directing traffic, and even though it's only early in this second half, I'm not suggesting that Darwin Hearts are playing for a scoreless draw, but it is a case that they're always happy to take the sting out of the game when they need to. I think we've got Lewis Bunton back here in the second half. Lewis, what have you made of the 8 minutes or so of the second half so far?
Yeah, it's been a much better second half on both teams. It was quite interesting seeing.
I'm going to interrupt you here, Lewis, because Mukuju had half a chance, and Mweze then played the pass straight down to the goalkeeper. And now, as the game remains open, Pereira trying to attack through the middle. Muklas. And It looked like a foul. Free kick. I'll let you finish the point you were making there, Lewis, as it's a Casuarina free kick.
Yeah, just saying then, different halftime team talks from the two sides. Casuarina were all involved, and I think Darwin Hart only spoke for a quick 5 minutes, and that was it then. They were back out ready to go. So, and they've obviously, them quick 5 minutes, they've definitely told them we need to play a little bit better, a little bit more attacking, and they've come out firing in this first 10 minutes now in this second half.
So a set piece. We saw a few of these mid-range free kicks in the first half come to little. They're going for the sneak attack here. Muklas through the left side. Darwin Harts are now sending numbers out to the corner to try and guard him. And it's going to be a Casuarina throw. Edge of the box, lifted into the area. Casemiro had two defenders right there on his case. And out it goes for a goal kick. Stobbart decides to play it quickly this time. And the long ball into the path of James. And just had enough attention from the defender that it's been deflected behind. Bit of confusion initially, but it's going to be a corner kick. A little bonus there for Darwin Harts. And I tell you what, Lewis, if they score against the run of play here, if we thought that we saw them battening down the hatches in the first half, would they go defensive straight away? Or do you think that they're the sort of team that can't help themselves and might just continue attacking and look for a second one, even though the attacking opportunities have been so few and far between?
I think they're, like you say there, I think they're more likely to batten down the hatches. I saw it previously when they led Mindle last Saturday when they were 1-0 up. They kind of put the foot off the gas and sat back, and they didn't really start attacking again until they conceded and made it 1-1. So I would think they'd put the brakes on and just defend their lead if they do get a goal here.
So is this the big moment for Darwin Harts? Trying to break this deadlock. They have scored only 7 times this season in 10 games. And that one right on the fingertips of the goalkeeper, but he still dragged it in. And now with the drop kick, he's able to clear it out of his defensive half. Albeit not to any greater advantage than that. It's there to be one in the air. Santosh. Newell. Clipped out to Curtis Smith. Muklas. Gently into the path of Mark Casemiro. Back to Imam Muklas. Lifts a left-footed cross. Oh, diving header came in. Danger not yet averted. Casemiro. Back to Muklas. Take two, perhaps. Oh, that's a great little burst there to free up some space. And Casemiro, he's allowed to wheel on the ball here. Darwin Harts living dangerously. Casemiro maybe kept his feet when he could have gone to ground there. And the header away by Mweze. And eventually Darwin Harts scramble it out. Last-ditch defending all round from the Darwin Harts team. And they're able to withstand another wave of pressure from Casuarina. A tumbling cross into the area. It wasn't pretty initially. And then lifted off the boot of Casemiro. Stobbart equal to that one. To Mweze. He's trying to accelerate up the pitch. James. Sweeping cross. Had to be pinpoint, though, to find his teammate there. Mukuju in between two centre-backs. And the defence prevails. Out to the right then. Oh, unmarked in the middle and put over. Oh, this is becoming very hard to believe. Totally unmarked in the middle, and rather than shoot on goal, he's cut it back to his teammate Casemiro. And perhaps not expecting to receive a pass in that sort of gilt-edged situation, he's lifted it over the bar as well. And it was Curtis Smith there who, rather than go for glory himself, was too unselfish. Lewis Bunton, we've seen 2 hard-to-believe misses in this game now.
Yeah, I'm speechless again. I think Curtis Smith just got excited there. Didn't think he meant to pass to Mark Casemiro. I think he just mistimed it.
Muklas, and nearly shanked in for an own goal. That could have been one way to break the deadlock between the teams. Instead of doing it off your own boot, make the opposition defend in an impossible situation. So their reward is a corner, but I think a couple of players out there will be utterly bewildered as to how this game is 0-0. Muklas in the first half, now Casemiro in the second. And to be fair to Mark Casemiro, I don't think any striker in that situation would see a teammate open in the 6-yard box like that and then expect the pass to be sent across to them. Here's the corner, intercepted at the near stick. Counter-attack potential here. Al Saleh trying to squirm out of congestion, but can't do so. Pereira. Working through the middle, Gordon Pereira. So many red shirts to contend with, though. Gave him no space. He has to concede 5 metres, go back, reassess the options, and now a shot on the turn. And that one had to do way too much there from Zelio Casemiro. It was never honing back in on the target. 61 minutes. Neither team has made a sub. Lewis, how far away are we from seeing some changes?
I think there might be a change here for Darwin Hearts. There's a couple of men warming up now and some instructions being given from their coach. So I wouldn't be surprised for a change in the next couple of minutes. And I think it might just be in their midfield. Again, Casuarina just found their groove in that midfield. They're getting a lot of time, especially Gordon Pereira is getting time in that midfield again. I think they might just make a tactical change here, Darwin Hearts, to try and put some pressure on Gordon Pereira there.
I think it's a really good shout. Pereira has run the game. It's been very much on his terms. He just probably wishes he had an assist to his name at this point because it's the only thing really missing as far as Casuarina are concerned. Tran. Spent a lot more time in the attacking half since the break. Space on the right, overload, numbers. The shot comes in on the tight angle, blocked. Right into the pack of players. Darwin Hearts clustering around the ball. Mweze. Blocked straight off the boot. They can't get out of their defensive half. Try and Casuarina have got all the answers at the moment. Zelio Casemiro flicks it on. Muklas, and good goalkeeping in at the feet of the attacker. I'll get you to be my eyes at the ground, Lewis, about impending subs. Right now, though, Darwin Hearts trying to get an attack going. Bit of a miscommunication there, frustration between James and Mweze. But for the most part, they have been a good combination up forward tonight. You feel like the game is just meandering towards crunch time here. Still plenty of minutes to go. It's not desperation stakes yet for Casuarina to try and get themselves a goal. If it is only to be the one goal that wins it. Swung into the penalty spot and volleyed away. Pereira. Oh, his own man Curtis Smith was unaware that the ball was heading into his path. And then Makuju giving a little bit of physical attention to Gordon Pereira. And now the shot comes in, but that one at a very savable height and savable pace. Just snaffled up by Jordan Stobbart. Nowhere near as complex as some of the other acrobatic and difficult saves he's had to make tonight. Got a foul here. And Lewis, I believe this is going to prompt the first subs of the night.
Yes, and it's Shoran Stretch is going to be coming on. And I'm not too sure who's just coming off at the moment.
As we see the man making his way over to the bench. So Shrawan Shresh, the number 7, comes into the game. He actually had the assist when Darwin Harts beat Port Darwin back in round 2 earlier in the season. Free kick here for Darwin Harts. And, well, that was the height of ambition, and immediately a foul for a dangerous high boot there on Mohamed Al Saleh. Referee blowing the whistle again. More subs.
Yeah, another one from Darwin has here is Kushal Nepal coming on. But again, I'm not too sure who's coming off. No one's making their way over at the moment.
Yeah, certainly happy to milk the clock at this mid-stage of the second half. And I think the referee needs to just be a little bit stricter on the time wasting here. But all's well that ends well, the sub goes through. And Kusal Nepal comes on. So 2 subs in quick succession for Darwin Harts. Will the fresh legs make a difference? Can Casuarina welcome them with a goal? Not to be here for Ryan Newell. Curtis Smith. Muklas. Zelio Casemiro through ball and Vital. That was the sub. Was it? No, it was Durabakaki coming in to get it away. I thought for a second it was the number 7, but it was the number 2. Durabakaki, so important to get in the road. And the flag may have been up for offside, so it would not have mattered in any case. But he wasn't to know. Good defending. Oh, the restart into his own man, Stobbart. And then he shanks it straight to an opponent. Is it going to be returned with interest here? Edge of the box. Oh, it's pinballing around. And now the shot comes in from Muklas, saved by Stobbart. And the follow-up is in. And Casuarina get the goal. And Darwin Harts with their own worst enemy there because they invited that pressure on. And they have been punished to the fullest. Mark Casemiro gets the goal. And I tell you what, for all the good play they've had tonight and all the efforts that they've constructed with purpose, in the end it was Darwin Harts absolutely shooting themselves in the foot on that one. And Mark Casemiro goes to double figures. He is just 1 goal off the lead in the top scorers race. And Lewis Bunton, that is such an anticlimax because that was a gift.
Definitely a gift there from Darwin Harts to Casuarina. But well done for Casuarina for the punishing that. They finally found the back of the net. I thought it was going to take something magical to beat Stobbart today. But in the end, it was Darwin Hart's own mistake that finally got past him, which is sad to see. Hopefully they react well here. We'll go from there.
So the team that has only scored 7 times this season, Darwin Harts, now find themselves in arrears. And as competitive as they've been tonight, it is probably worth remembering that they have not won a game in a very long time in this league. All the way back to round 3 when they beat Port Darwin 1-0. So they do not have that winning mentality. Even if they were to score and rescue a draw tonight, that would be an achievement. But it's going to be that much harder playing from behind, especially now that Casuarina have the peace of mind, knowing that they've got themselves that all-important goal. Mweze able to slay them through 2. Can't direct it into the path of James. Newell distributing out to the left, too much on it. Hurled in again, and that touch is, well, last must have been off Casuarina. It's going to be a Darwin Hart's throw. Long throw coming in from Shrawan Shrestha. Zelio Casemiro. Now the long ball. Oh, the touch. It was sitting up for Mark Casemiro. He was trying to sneak away out the back, but maybe didn't realise the keeper was so close to him there that it was going to be right on his case. And now a more conventional through ball. Casemiro on the tight angle and bent it straight into the goalkeeper's gloves. Not able to beat Stobbart there. Zelio Casemiro, he's waving to the bench, looks proppy. Might be a sub coming up. He's stopped to a jog, really. Tran, pass intercepted. And now veering out to the left. Paraskos Kuma's come on for Casuarina, and Casemiro, looking for his second of the game, sends that into the night sky. So Paraskos Kum is on for Casuarina. They've made their first sub. It looks like they might be about to make another. And it is going to be Zico Casemiro who is going to come on. And you can see also there Charles Ngungu is about to come on for Darwin Hearts, and he's replacing Mukuju, who comes off after a good shift, Christian Mukuju. And Zelio Casemiro, we knew this was coming. Off he goes, and Zico Casemiro comes on. So the coach goes to the bench. Lewis, do you wonder if that will change a great deal of how Casuarina play in these final 18 minutes?
Oh, I don't think it'll change too much. That little change that snuck in there was Paraskos Kum. He came on for Iman Muklas there. Yeah, I don't know when he snuck on, but he did make that change. But Paraskos is a very young talent coming in for Casuarina. I played with him myself. He's a very young lad, very talented, very quick, and brilliant going in that forward line there. So they are still wanting more goals, I think, Casuarina here from them 2 changes. Even Zico Casemiro, he's very experienced player in his own right as well, who again can score goals. So I think Casuarina definitely want that second or third goal if they can. They definitely don't want to give Darwin a sniff.
I suspect it was in the aftermath of scoring the goal that that change went through. It seems as though since taking the lead that there's been a bit of authority exerted on the game here from Casuarina. Ball into the box. There to be one, bouncing into the arms of Stobbart. Curtis Smith. Tran caught in possession this time. We tick down to 15 minutes to go. Casuarina by no means home and hosed, but Darwin Hearts with it all to do now. Kusal Nepal keeps it moving. Ganesh Gurung. Flicked out to the right. It's a cause to go and chase. Oh, it hasn't been kept in though. Ngungu thought he might be able to wheel around and keep chasing, but not to be. Casuarina happy to keep the ball at the moment. Mweze chasing shadows as the lone pressing player up top. Pereira. Ball's going to run on here after the attacker lost his feet. Ngungu. Now driving a long ball. Goalkeeper came off his line, but the covering man was happy to put it out. Reza Passmore. Charles Ngungu takes the throw. Hard to control. Eventually got it back at his feet though, Santosh. And now Gurung. Ngungu. Oh, there's a disappointing end with the cross. Straight out it went rather than threatening the penalty area. And the referee whistling means we're going to see another change here, I suspect. And it's going to be Casuarina to make it. On comes Dylan Vong. And now it's Casuarina happy to take their time making the subs. And I believe that might have been Ryan Newell coming off there, Lewis, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, you are right there. Ryan Newell came off for the young Dylan Vong, who...
Good chance there for Casuarina to try and score a second, but Stobbart made another good save. I was going to ask you, Ryan Newell tonight, I've been very impressed with his game. Probably would have loved a bit more polish in terms of the right pass or the right shot, but he got into a lot of good positions and he was very prominently involved in the game.
Yeah, I totally agree with you there. Like, a couple of passes did go a bit wayward, but he is a great young talent in Darwin, and he has become an absolute stalwart for Casuarina in that midfield. He's been around in the A-grade side for a number of years now, and he can be a great player, but tonight just a couple of passages went a bit wayward, and if he got them on par, he might have got a couple of assists as well. But yeah, a great young talent for Darwin and for Casuarina.
Ball in midfield. 11 minutes to go now, plus stoppage. Casuarina holding this 1-0 lead for just on 10 minutes now. Darwin Hearts seeming to just lack a bit of impetus and energy. Tran. Long ball and offside. was wondering how Juma Mweze got so clear of the defence there. The answer became obvious. You can see how high up the pitch the restart's being taken. That's where he got caught offside. Here the bench shouting at Passmore to steer it short to Gordon Pereira. And now he goes long. Brought down out of the night sky initially by Paraskos Kum, but goalkeeper was out to grasp onto it. Santosh Shrestha to Ngungu. Darwin Hearts are walking Mamoon Degame up to the sideline. He's going to come on here. Another midfield option for them. He replaces Santosh Shrestha. Can he be a difference maker? In spite of all the subs, it's still very much been a game run by Gordon Pereira in central midfield. They just haven't had an answer to him tonight. Paraskos Kum went central. Pereira. Tran saw the opportunity to go and did with acceleration. Under the feet of Kum. Numbers around the ball and Darwin Hearts prevail. Two Casuarina players committed. McRae Van Lingen. It's about as far up the pitch as we've seen him in open play tonight. And then trying to connect to 1-2, not to be. And then Dylan Vong touching it back to the centre of defence. Casemiro wheeling onto the ball, pushed over from behind, easy penalty decision for the referee. And the card is out of the pocket. What colour is it going to be? Just yellow. And Durabakaki is sanctioned. But that was an easy decision for the referee to send Casuarina to the penalty spot, Lewis.
Yeah, definitely a very easy decision. Probably the easiest one he's going to have all night. Again, just that discipline lacking for Darwin Hearts. I've seen it in previous games for them. And I'm quite surprised, actually, the way Jordan Stobbart's been playing. You would have backed him to stop Mark Casemiro there to save it, and now he's got the penalty spot to save instead. So, silly decision in my point of view there.
Stobbart has been so good tonight. If he was to save this penalty, it might just be the lift in morale that Hearts need to chase an equaliser. And that may yet prove to be crucial. Casemiro, trying to draw level with Simon Bell at the top of the scoring charts, has skied it. Well, that is a shocking waste of opportunity there. And it's shades of last Friday night when the league's top scorer, Simon Bell, had his penalty kick saved at the end of the night. Lewis, this perhaps should have been game, set, match, and instead, we may yet have a twist in the tail.
Definitely. Again, I'm still shocked for words. I reckon it might be Mark Casemiro. He might be blaming his boots there. He's still wearing them pink boots from earlier where the laces broke. So I think that's the only excuse he's got. That was a shocking penalty, and he'll be devastated. He'll be wanting that top spot. But yeah, very, very poor penalty taken in the end.
I wonder if the mental effect of knowing what a good night Jordan Stobbart has had forced his decision there as well. Anyway, the chance to put this one in the books goes begging. 6 minutes to go. Hasn't been a great deal of evidence that Darwin Hearts look like scoring since about the 51-minute mark, to be fair. It's been more or less one-way traffic after a very busy first 10 minutes of the second half. Casuarina scored the only goal in the 69th minute, and it has been firmly their game to lose ever since. I think Darwin Hearts will be doing well if they can create a chance between now and full time. If they can create a good chance and score it, well, that would be quite something for them. In the meantime, Kum trying to put it to bed, and he sends it into the night sky. He's given them good energy off the bench, though, hasn't he, Paraskos Kum? He's had chances. He's been involved in all the build-up play. He's looked good since coming on.
That he definitely has. Like I said earlier, he's a very good young talent. Very tricky, very quick. And he's just, again, just lack of that experience. He's just making them poor decisions in front of goal.
And onto the pitch comes the only player to have scored a goal for Darwin Hearts this season, Sajal Shrestha. Darwin Hearts' only other 2 goal scorers this year, not in the matchday squad tonight. Can he provide the goal-scoring touch, Sajal? He's got 5 minutes plus stoppage to pull the rabbit out of the hat. Referee insists that Hearts come back 5, almost 10 metres to take this throw. Vong did well. Intercepted though at right back. Shrawan Shrestha to Gurung. Ran into trouble. Got the ball back, but they have to go backwards. Vong again, this time Darwin Hearts intercept. But it is short-lived, the attack. Tran. Kum. And clipped down the line, but running out of space. And again, Darwin Hearts, just even to get it down towards their penalty area, seems like a tall order at the moment. They're just not able to break the lines and get down the field. Casuarina still looking for the sealer here. Whistle's gone though. Stobbart clearing everyone out. Looks like he's going to go long. Whistle goes though, Casuarina ball. And so as we tick down to the 88th minute, assuming Casuarina go on to hold on to this win, Lewis, who's your man of the match tonight?
It'll have to be Gordon Pereira. He's had an absolutely fantastic game. He's been pulling the strings all night for Casuarina, and he's been untouchable. I think he's only maybe had 1-2 mistakes in his game today, but apart from that, he's been the standout for me, easily the standout, and I'm sure you agree there. He's had a great game.
He has, and I think there's a coaching lesson in it as well for any club that comes up against Casuarina from this point forward. They just cannot let this man bring his own ball to the ground, which has been the case tonight. Vong plays it back to McRae van Lingen. And Passmore. I don't want to invite on trouble here. They've got this game so firmly in their control. Suggest maybe only a mishap or misadventure might lead to an equaliser here for Darwin Hearts. They don't really look capable of constructing one of their own at this late stage. Tran. He's been determined to get forward as the game has gone on. How's his left peg here? Another save from Stobbart. As we go into the last minute of regulation, and Jordan Stobbart has been the difference between 1-0 and 5-0 tonight. He has made that many saves. Here is Paraskos Kum. And now Vong. I suppose the other frustration, Lewis, is it's going to be another competitive, honest defeat for Hearts. They, again, have proven tough to beat tonight. Really, the only goal of the game has come from you'd have to say, uncharacteristic set of mistakes that they made in the build-up to conceding it, given that they have stuck to their task quite well at all other times. And I guess how many times can you leave a game empty-handed before your resistance breaks? Either you crash or crash through. They need to win one at some point or another.
Yeah, definitely. They've got to try and change that attitude. They don't want to sit back, and I was rather disappointed with their reaction after conceding 1-0 down. I thought there might be a little fight in them, but instead they've kind of stepped back and let Casuarina just play that ball. And like you said, they can't keep going on just trying to hold out for a draw. They got to go out and score goals, and tonight they haven't had that many chances. And the scoreline doesn't reflect the chances that Casuarina has had, where they, like you said earlier, they should have been 4 or 5 up. They've had some open chances and they've missed. So I think that would be a coaching point for Casuarina. They need to be more clinical in front of goals.
I guess the one defensive Hearts you could say is that Mbakala Nalur is not playing, 4 goals this year. Niroj Shrestha, perhaps their best attacking midfielder, not playing. But still, they have had plenty tonight from Mweze in particular. I've liked his game. Al Saleh has had his moments, but you're right, it could also be how they set up. It really felt as though the longer this game stayed 0-0, the more you liked them to pinch it against the run of play, but the heads went down after they conceded, and they've finished the game looking like a team that doesn't actually believe that they can score, and that belief is a big, big difference, isn't it?
It's a massive difference. You've got to have that confidence when you, especially with them, they rely more on their counter-attack. When they do get chances in front of goal, they might only get 1 or 2 in a game. They've got to put them away, and tonight they've had them 1 or 2, and they just haven't had them on target, or they've just been not clinical enough as well. And you know, for a game when they don't have most of the ball, that can't happen. They got to be deadly in front of goals.
James Hamilton comes on at the end of the night. Just repeating the afternoon game tomorrow, Mindel Aces versus Port Darwin. The much improved Port Darwin. That will be, and Mindel actually struggled with them last time they met. I believe they were 2-1 down during that game last time Mindel played against Port, and then they came back to win 3-2. And the other game in the evening tomorrow night is Atsuri versus Hellenic, and I actually called that last time they played. Hellenic won 4-1. I suspect it may be a much more competitive game tomorrow. The league feels a lot closer than it did last set of head-to-heads. So 2 intriguing games coming up tomorrow. They'll be on the social channels of Football NT. Don't miss them. It's going to be another intriguing weekend of results. Right now, Casuarina would be going to 17 points, 4 behind Hellenic, 5 behind Mindel, and they'll be hoping for favours in tomorrow's games. They would love Port Darwin to upset Mindel. They would love Uni Atsuri to get something off Hellenic. It would really put Casuarina back into the conversation to actually win the title at the end of the season, or at the end of the home and away season, rather than only have third to play for and be looking over their shoulder. It's been far from a vintage performance tonight, but it is a win. Mark Casimiro's goal is the difference. He then went on to miss a penalty later in the night. And Jordan Stobbart, if he has an agent, he will be furiously racing to save a copy of this one. A catalogue of great saves amongst the top highlights of the night. Final thoughts, please, from Lewis Bunton.
From a Casuarina point of view, very controlled, well-dealt game, but clinically not good enough. And the Darwin Hearts, I think they need to go back to the drawing board and get that fight back in them. But a very interesting game and a good result for Casuarina.
Well, thank you tonight for your comments, Lewis. Pleasure working with you. And on behalf of our broadcast partner, Sportscast Australia, my name is Teo Pellizzeri. Thank you for your company. All over in the Football Northern Territory Men's Premier Division. And on Friday night, it ends Casuarina 1, Darwin Hearts 0. Good night.